In other news today, the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa says it's optimistic about restoring Cape Town's Central Line to full capacity. Well, that's what Prasa has told Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts. Scopa members conducting oversight visits to the various train stations in and around Cape Town. Prasa expected to provide a detailed plan on its second restoration process at a meeting in Parliament tomorrow. Athi Mtongana spoke to the Prasa CEO.
I'm joined by the Group CEO of Prasa, Emeren. Thank you so much for your time. You have been engaging members of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts today, but what can you tell the residents that have seen you out today and certainly rely on public transport and really need the Central Line to be fully functional? What can you tell them?
Good afternoon. You are correct. Today we showed Scopa the progress we are making on Central Line. We have opened phase 1 of Central Line last year already, and that's the service through to Nyanga. Today we focused on how we are bringing back phase 2. Phase 2 is the service through to Philippi from Nyanga, and then importantly it's getting it through to Chris Hani in Khayelitsha, and then Captain's Clip in Mitchell's Plain. We indicated the amount of contractors that we have already appointed to start work. We started at Khayelitsha station, rather at Chris Hani station this morning in Khayelitsha. We've appointed the contractors for the station. They will be taking site in the next 2 weeks in terms of the refurbishment of the station. We've already commenced with the replacement of the infrastructure on the corridor, particularly the electrical infrastructure. The works have started, and we're working from Khayelitsha through to Philippi. The same will apply for the Mitchell's Plain line. We are targeting that by the end of the financial year, that being March next year, we would like to see the service up and running. But there are certain prerequisites that need to be in place. Importantly, we need to deal with the informal settlements that are on the reserve. We visited the site in Philippi, where you saw a number of informal settlements on the track. Behind me here at Langa, we've also got informal settlements that need to move, as well as in Khayelitsha. So critical for us is to get the long-term solution for the settlements to move. What Prasa is doing in the interim is to move some of those shacks that are on the railway line, moving them to a site still within the reserve, but that enables us to at least proceed with construction. But that is a short-term solution. And that will bring us back to March next year in terms of running a limited service. For us to get to the full service, we need to get the long-term solution in place for the relocation of the informal settlements.
One of the key things that the MPs were asking you is security, fencing, ensuring that further vandalism doesn't take place. You mentioned that you haven't had those incidents in a while, but when you actually go to the train stations, you see, as the MPs were questioning you, as to why is there no fencing, why is there no protection in order to avoid those reoccurring vandalism instances.
Yeah. You're quite correct. Security is a huge issue that we are addressing, not only on Central Line but across the country. We've had to employ a security intervention unit specifically for Central Line to deal with the security threats. So we've got an increased physical presence on the ground. But over and above that, it's also about the infrastructure projects we are rolling out. We will be looking at walling the high risk areas on the Central Line. This is a concrete walling together with some of your military grade fencing that we will be rolling out. That is to protect and close off the reserve. The phase 2 of our security strategy also includes rolling out technology on the corridor. Your drones, your CCTV, that will come as the second phase. But I think one needs to acknowledge that security is a huge threat within our business. We have had to double our cost in terms of security intervention.
Quickly before I let you go, and I need you to be very brief, there's the advent of organized crime in Cape Town, the construction mafia. Does that impact one of your stations or any of your stations insofar as security is concerned?
We did have that problem last year. Particularly, we had a delay of close to 5 months because of those incidents. Hence, we deployed the intervention security unit. But one of the successes that we have seen is working closely with the communities, bringing on board the SMMEs, employing labor from the communities as part of our security teams have made a big difference. security on the corridor.
Mr. Emran, thank you so much for your time, the Group CEO of Prasa. Well, tomorrow they'll be facing members of Parliament further in that engagement at 9 a.m. in that physical sitting. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Athi Mtongana in Cape Town.